I'm here with another journal with me session today, and so far in my journal I'm working chronologically, so I'm flicking to the next free page in the journal. I think I'm about halfway through already in this journal and it's already quite bulky, so I'm interested to see how it fills up. But today's journal page is about a little birthday party that we went to on the weekend that just passed. This was a birthday celebration for two of my nieces. They have different birthdays, but they had a joint party because their birthdays are pretty close together. And it was a really sweet party. There was lots of little kids. We did face painting and there was a jumping castle and delicious food. It was just a really fun time, and it was just nice to see all the kids have such a good time together. So I printed out some photos on my Instax printer. And so I printed some pictures from the party. I also printed a couple of other pictures from the weekend that I'm just going to put aside for another day. And then I've just got some bits of paper and paper bags, as well as some chocolate wrappers from the party and stuff that I'm going to use to help build up the page and decorate the page and tell the story of the party. I also have here some printables from my shop. These are some little cards that are prompted, so they have a bunch of different things. There's like a to-do list, and there's one for a recipe, and there's like a gratitude list and all sorts of things. It's a really nice mixed lot. You get 3 sheets, there's 4 on each sheet. And today I wanted to use the pink ticket piece because this is basically a blank space that you can turn into a ticket, and it can help to kind of like invite, it's kind of like a title piece. It kind of tells you what the page is about. And so I'm going to customize that ticket piece into like a ticket to the birthday party. I don't have a physical invitation to the party because it was a Facebook invitation event. So I don't have a physical invitation to use, which is why I thought using this ticket is a nice little way to kind of create my own in a way. And so I pulled out my gold ink pad and some stamps, and I'm basically just going to add a few little things onto the top of this ticket piece so that we can kind of create a little faux piece of ephemera here. So I stamped birthday party. It wasn't the clearest stamp impression, but it still looks cute. And then I stamped E and A, so for my niece's names. There wasn't quite enough room to write their entire names with stamps, so I decided to just do their initials. And then I also put out this beautiful bow stamp, which I forgot that I had actually, and I stamped it underneath the birthday party. Then I'm going in with my black pen, just a ballpoint pen, and I'm just filling in the date that the party occurred, the time that the party occurred, and then the place. And then there's also a few little places where you can fill in anything you want basically, and they also have check boxes. So I just filled in a bunch of things that the party was. So best day, party, fun time, special event, and then I tick them all off. But you can do whatever you want with this. I've used it in different ways in the past. So that's going to act as like an ephemera piece on the page. And so I'm going to include that along with the photos. And then I'm also going to team up some decorative pieces to go along with this, because when we're doing junk journaling, we have a lot of stuff from our life, but sometimes we don't have a lot. So we can go to something, an event, or have a day out or a day at home where we just have one little thing that we want to put into our journal, and it's not enough to fill out an entire page. So I like to team this personal ephemera up with decoration pieces that complement it and that help to tell the story. So for example, I've got that little piece of scrapbook paper with the kids at the party. Absolutely love that scrapbook paper. It's from an old Belle and Boo paper pack. I've only got like little remnants of it left, but it's really, really sweet. So there's like these kids in a row basically just having a great time at a party, and that just really helps to illustrate the party and the event that we went to. So I really like to do that. And you see me just playing around with different pieces like that blue floral paper. That's another printable from my shop. I really actually liked how that looked. I didn't end up using it, but in hindsight I really still liked the way that that blue looked on the page with the photos on top of it. The little green doily piece on the right there is another printable from my shop. I think it's from the Tuck Spots pack. I just thought that that green colour was really sweet, and the little pink flowers help to complement everything else that's going on the page. I've also cut out a little strip from a vintage encyclopedia, and I picked this little piece that says rainbow. I picked this for one because the illustration is really beautiful. It's kind of like, to me it looks like a country sort of town, and then you've got a rainbow in the background. This isn't like directly related to the party, but I felt like it fit well because we had the party in a little country town and the weather was really spotty, so it was kind of sunny and then it was raining. It was all over the place. And not only that, but my sister made this really beautiful like castle cake with unicorns on it, and I felt like the rainbow kind of went with the unicorns. Rainbows and unicorns, they go hand in hand, so I felt like this piece just helped to add a little bit of magic to this page, and it had all the right kind of vibes, so that's why I included that. I also have another little scrap piece of party paper with the party hats. This is an old crate paper, scrapbook paper, and then I also layered up another one of my little tuck spots, or it might actually be a doily pack, I can't quite remember, but that little blue one on the left side at the bottom in the corner, I felt like all the colours just looked like birthday to me, like nice bright pinks and teals and greens. I felt like they all just complemented each other really well. Then I'm just fitting my photos into the spread. I'm trying to work out how I want them to sit and which ones should be kind of grouped together. And I'm also keeping in mind where I can actually fit some written journaling as well. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm leaving room to do that. It's easy just to go crazy and fill up the page with stuff and then not leave yourself a lot of room for writing. And I really did want to write a few things about this day. I'm using my glue stick and also some double-sided tape to attach all the pieces to the page. So I just basically, because I had so many things that I was trying to include, I laid them all out. I worked out the layout of the double spread. And then once I was happy with how everything looked and I was confident that everything could fit, I then glued everything down all at once. So I started just with the bits that are furthermost on the page, and then I'm just layering up with all the other smaller pieces that can kind of sit on top. Sometimes I like to add a little bit of tape down the sort of fold or the seam in the middle of the book, just to make sure that those little edges of the paper aren't going to get creased up and come unattached. So I like to do that just to help secure things down nicely. And I'm just kind of picking between my glue stick and double-sided tape depending on how thick the paper is that I'm gluing down. So the thinner pieces of paper can easily be glued with a glue stick and they're not going to come off. But some of the other pieces of paper are a little bit thicker, like that party hat paper that you can see there. I felt like it needed something a little bit stronger to attach it to the page. And I also used the double-sided tape to stick the Polaroid pictures down on the page as well. I did have one little Polaroid picture which I decided to slip into this clear pocket. I'm not actually entirely sure where I got this little pocket from, but I found it in my journaling supplies and it fits perfectly a little Instax Polaroid picture. So I slipped in a picture of my son with his face painted. I actually got to do some face painting at the party. I'd never really done face painting before, so it was a nice fun challenge. I really enjoyed it though, it was really fun. So I did a fox on my son's face and I did some butterflies on my daughter's face, and then I also got to paint some other kids' faces as well. Once I've attached all my paper bits to the page, I also just included a couple of wrappers and I just stapled these directly down. So I have a Freddo Frog wrapper that my son had brought me while I was doing some face painting, and then I also have a little M&M packet that a little girl that I met at the party brought me. Her name was Taya. She was really sweet. So she brought me this little packet of M&Ms while I was doing face painting. And I just kept both of those packets as little mementos, little memories, and stapled them directly onto the page. So now that I have all of my bits and pieces attached, I'm just going to pull out some stickers and just decorate the page before I do my written journaling. Again, I couldn't quite fit the full names of my nieces on that little label piece, so I did E and A. That's a really beautiful alphabet sticker book that I've been using a lot lately. I really like how it looks authentically cut out of magazines. So I did that, and then I also used a bunch of tiny word stickers just underneath the Polaroid pictures, and then a couple of other decorative stickers all across the page just to kind of layer up where different elements come together and just add a nice like cutesy magical feel to this page. So there's kind of like a variety of sticker types. There's some sort of see-through shiny stickers, there's some really opaque stickers, there's some puffy stickers, nice little variety. Here you can see the page finished with my journaling added to the page. So I was able to write underneath the Polaroid in the pocket because it's just stapled along the top. You can flip it up. I also wrote underneath the M&M packet, and I also wrote on top of the little green doily or tuck spot piece. I really like how this page turned out. I feel like everything, all of the elements just came together really seamlessly. When I look at it, it brings back a lot of happy memories from the day. So that is the end of today's journal with me. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you check out my journal with me or junk journal with me playlist, because I have so many other videos just like this where you can watch my process. I will pop a link to that down below. And if anything interested you from my shop, like journaling printables, I also have a sale that's still running in my shop right now, so I'll link that down below as well. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you again soon in my next video.